As a responsible person with growing concerns for your privacy and personal liberty, you want to know where we're headed and what you can do about it. We ask the experts what you need to do to take prudent and responsible action to safeguard your family's wealth and well-being, and what basic first steps will help you to be aware and prepared. ReluctantPreppers.com.
What about cybersecurity? As people, you mentioned, Facebook or other things can be influential in terms of getting things done socially. What are other ways that people need to make sure that they're keeping themselves and their families safe online?
Well, Facebook, Twitter, I'm amazed at give all kinds of information that they put out about themselves that I would never think that I would put out to people. Again, we use one in the office to let people know about road conditions or crime trends, etc. We have, the Mixel thing, we have Facebook, we have Twitter. But I have been on Facebook and was amazed at the people that talk about their birthday. So now I have the birthday, their address is on there, certainly their name is on there. Well, with that simple information, I can do an awful lot with identity theft. They put on Facebook when they're going on vacation. See, the whole family is going to be gone for 2 weeks or whatever the period of time is. Well, if I want to break into their house, guess what? They're gone. They put everything out there, and then they're amazed when they have identity theft. So what I would ask your listeners and viewers to do is look at your Facebook account and say, gee, if I were an identity theft person, am I going to easily be able to get name, address, date of birth? Eliminate those things from your Facebook. If you want people to give you birthday greetings, have maybe the month and the day, but certainly do not have the year on there. Now, that still is not going to make you very safe, because if I really want to follow your Facebook, you're going to talk about your 20th high school reunion coming up. I can come within a year or two of your birthday by knowing what year you graduated from high school. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to watch you for a while to figure out how old you are or a lot of personal things about you because of your Facebook. I know there are privacy settings on Facebook, and the default is to not have those privacy settings, so please go to your Facebook account, and if you want to share all those things with people, then please limit who you share that with instead of having it open to everyone.
Any other considerations before we let you go? Thoughts to people on how they can partner with their sheriff to keep their families safer?
Absolutely. Never give anyone any information about yourself when they contact you, whether it's by phone, email, or anything else. Because even if I call you and your caller ID says the name of your local bank on it, and they say there's a problem with your account, I can get an app on my phone that can tell you that I'm Barack Obama calling from Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. So don't believe what your phone says. If you think it's legitimate and it's someone that needs to talk, has a question about an account, get their name, get their phone number, who they work for, and then verify the number. In other words, call your bank and ask them, does this person work for you, and is this the right phone number to call them? And if they say yes, then you know it's okay to make that phone call. I just, a week ago, my father-in-law, who's elderly, has a Facebook account, and he is a little hard of hearing, got a phone call from a panicked young man saying that he was his grandson and that he was involved in a crash, and he doesn't want his parents knowing that he was in a crash, and he needs $1,500 to get out of jail, and he'll pay him back after he gets out of jail, but he needs the money right now. Please wire the money. Fortunately, and I'm really impressed that my father-in-law did this because he's a pretty hard-headed guy, he called me. He didn't just send the money, but he called me saying, hey, I need to send money to this guy. Can you, I'm just want to make sure that it gets taken care of properly so that Tony can get out of jail. And I immediately told him it's a fraud. If Tony were in jail, he can hire his own bondsman. He has a very good job. He can take care of himself. He doesn't need his grandfather in Ohio sending money to California to get him out of jail. So the first thing I did is I called my nephew and said, hey, Tony, how you doing? He said, great. It's our second anniversary. Wife and I are on a nice drive out in the country. And I said, oh, good, so you're not in jail. And he kind of laughs, says, no, why would I be in jail? I said, well, because there's a scammer out there that just called your grandfather asking for $1,500 to get you out of jail. So don't send it. I really give credit. I had an elderly woman who I gave the same talk to about identity theft and also about these scams. And she said that she got a phone call. The man said that he was your grandson and he needed money, and send it to me, Grandma, because it's a terrible place. And she goes, I just slammed the phone down. And I said, well, that's wonderful. How did you know it wasn't your grandson? And she said, because I don't have any grandsons. And I said, well, good for you. So, again, my father-in-law was concerned, didn't realize it wasn't his grandson because he's got a hearing aid, probably didn't hear that well to begin with, and has someone panicking, probably was acting like he's crying or something when he's calling for the money. So what does an elderly person do? They want to be trusting. They certainly want to help out the grandchildren. Many of them are going to reach for the pocketbook and send the money. So never give anyone money when they contact you. You contact them and confirm that they are who they say that they are. Again, partnering with the sheriff. Sheriffs, again, we're a different breed. It's important for us to be visible and accessible, and we pride ourselves on that. So get involved. I have a very active auxiliary that is out in the community helping with a lot of events. We're putting on a Citizens Police Academy that starts in about 2 weeks, and that's more of an educational thing about people. It's 10 weeks long, teaching them about the office of sheriff, what we do, what we can do, what we cannot do. Probably the worst thing out there are these programs like NCI where everything is technology and you can pick up a hair follicle off the floor and stick it in the computer, and next thing you know, you got the face, name, address of the suspect, and go, wow, let's go get this guy, and he's right around the corner. Real life doesn't work that way. Yes, we use those technologies, but on the TV show, I think they get the information in about 30 seconds. We're lucky to have it in 30 days.
Yeah, right. That bothers me every time we see a show like that. I just think that the people who must be the most in pain watching that are the people who do the real work and see that it's not like that at all.
Yeah, I can't watch those shows because my wife keeps saying, it's just a TV show, Mark. Mark, it's just a show. I'm like, but they wouldn't, you can't do it that way. You can't do this. So I do have to just look at it from an entertainment standpoint. So I'll watch Adam 12 or Andy Griffith, and then I'm getting a little closer to...
Yeah, I forgot to ask you back when you were on the topic of keeping yourself safe when you're out and about in public places or shopping. What about these newest credit cards that have a built-in chip, an RFID chip? What consideration should people have about that kind of?
Actually, we have, for people that live in Wood County that want to stop by the office, we have a little envelope that you put the card into, and it blocks the chip. For people that don't know what that is, what the credit card companies have done, and it's because people must want this because they wouldn't do it if people didn't want to do it. There's a little chip that they're putting in a lot of credit cards so that when you go to the grocery store, you go to the store, you're in the checkout line, while you're in the line, without you having to take your wallet out of your pocket or out of your purse, they can go up there and say, oh, okay, you have 4 credit cards. Which one of them do you want to use today? And you don't even have to take your wallet out because they have it on their little screen. Well, lo and behold, the bad guys have learned how to get portable readers that they can just walk up within a couple feet of you and read your credit card information right out of your pocket. So if you don't have an RFI card, you don't live in Wood County, and again, maybe other sheriffs have these, we give them away. But if not, wrap it like aluminum foil and put it in your wallet, and that way it'll block the signal so they cannot do that. Or another option may be your credit card company, tell them that you do not want the RFI reader in your credit card. I certainly, yes, it's a little bit of a pain reaching behind, pulling my wallet out of my pocket, but I'm willing to do that to keep from having the bad guys read all my credit card information out of my pocket.
Well, Sheriff Mark Wasylyshyn, thank you so much for spending this time with us to help our Reluctant Preppers viewers understand things that they can do to help increase their family's safety and security, and also partner with their local sheriff to improve the safety of their community. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.